Hello and welcome to part 11 of Let's Play Kirby the Super Sofa Salesman.
And it begins with a bang.
Literally you blowing yourself up there with Timeshitters Jax finishing off the Great Cave Offensive.
Finally! It's a big old game. Big old game.
Biggest on the cartridge.
Biggest on the cartridge. Big old game. And this is Wham Bam Rock, the final boss of the Great Cave Offensive, the fourth game of the six main
Are you just filling time there because we can't think of anything to say?
Well,
I've got things to say about this boss. One, it's really weird looking. Looks like a bird.
I just don't like the fact that there's no like outline for the face, and there really should be one.
There is. It's just out of shot. It's got massive face with features that's all scrunched in the middle.
I love it how it takes its hits like a man. Like the only reason you can see it's even being hurt is that its eyes do that weird thing when it gets hit briefly.
Can you only hit his eyes?
The only way you can damage him is by hitting the hand. There's no other way to hit him.
Oh, the eye, you can't hit the face at all.
The face is just like for show. Although you can use the face to predict what kind of attack's going to happen next, because like you see the face shakes there, you can see that's going to happen. If the face is anything weird in the background, you know a particularly strange attack's coming. See it went from side to side, you know that's going to happen next. And then that happens, and then it's shaking, so I imagine it'll... I mean, it's not a complete tell, but you can tell something out of the norm is going to happen.
Yeah,
and guess what? I didn't die at all.
Well, there's still some gameplay left. Although this looks very much like a sort of a victory lap.
Definitely. I've got all the treasures, all the bosses are beaten. I don't have to worry about getting killed by anything else. I can just mow them all down. The thing is though, I think this is proof that Kirby's just like a latent psychopath, because he's not even laughing gleefully, he's just calmly mowing down lots of monsters.
Well, I think he's only as much of a psychopath as you make him. I mean, the number of times you just let your partners just die on spikes, or you just actively killed them for no good reason. So
this is the... You'll recognise this as the entrance I came in, and oh, look, there's a warp star there now. Isn't that a cheap ending?
If you go right, do you go back to the start?
You can go through the whole game again if you want. So
that was... The longest story is how Kirby once fell down a hole.
And he got out.
So it always adds it all up, does it? And is this the official...
This is the official list. This just tells you everything you've got. I think you'll just get like a blank space for any that you missed out.
Okay.
So this just tells you everything you've got. There we are, Seiryu Sword, Screwball, the infamous Ekigo Candy from Cholesterol Wars.
Yeah. I like to think Kirby... You probably may think Kirby's flying quite high above it, where actually I just like to think he's massive. There.
Like he's on the ground and he's just sort of batting down trees as he glides very slowly at that ground level. So,
I imagine a lot of this is going to be credits.
Yep, so we've got to come up with interesting things to say. Have you thought any more about that bucket?
No, I haven't looked it up. I've had some... I've had technical issues with my laptop, with computers for the last week, so I haven't been able to do any sort of research in that.
But don't worry, Timeshitters fans, we're all kitted up and we're looking to get a capture card for Xbox 360.
Yeah, we should have that. We should get that some point next week. And I've got a shiny new laptop called Scarlet.
Johansson?
Yeah, my precious Scarlet.
Why is it called Scarlet, Ben?
Because she's scarlet coloured.
I just think that wasn't obvious to our audience. I don't like the idea that mannequin is a treasure. I don't like mannequins, they scare me.
They're quite expensive though. If you buy one of those artists' ones, they're quite expensive.
Do they cost 3,000 G?
Well, if a katana costs 99,000, probably.
It's 990,000, Ben. Can you not read numbers? I mean...
I was rounding down.
You're rounding down by removing a zero.
Is that not how you do rounding?
That's not how you do rounding, and I should know. I'm a maths graduate. I know these things.
Oh.
But you can see the final treasures coming up now. There's the old Triforce. Do you know anything about the Triforce, Ben? Anything you'd like to share about the Triforce?
No.
Alright, good. That's all the treasures.
The one thing about the Triforce is I always forget which of wisdom and courage, if wisdom's on the right or courage is on the right. I know power's at the top.
This is the only extra reward you get for getting all the treasures, that screen.
Kirby about to eat them all.
Yep. So, it's moving swiftly on to the 5th game, Revenge of Meta Knight.
Alright, so we go straight into it. So that we've done Great K Offensive, thank God, because I was worried the rest of the 10-minute video was going to be us having to talk over credits.
No, I've actually got some gameplay, and this is good because you get like this sort of commentary of the baddies coming over all the levels.
Oh my gosh, what are we going to do?
You'll get in the way! Get rid of him!
I can't remember to voice that guy.
Need to get that.
Meta Knight. Oh, this music's awesome.
It's very good. Anyway, you'll see the old timer in the middle there.
Do you want to talk about that for a bit?
Basically, you have to finish the level before that time runs out, or you die.
Okay, I don't like the way the timer starts before you get control.
But I honestly wouldn't worry. Like it's very rare that you get anywhere close to running out of time if you go through the levels at any reasonable speed.
Yeah.
And since the levels are very, very linear in this game, like you're not gonna be run into getting lost and where's the right way? Can I get to the end in time? It's basically, if you don't dither around and you'll be fine. See, this isn't. I mean, you can die here, but you can't win. You just have to wait until the rocket jet blows you off the ship.
Yeah.
Into this first level.
So, has Meta Knight appeared in games before this?
Yes, he was in a lot of the NES ones. He was definitely in Kirby's Dream Land 2 or 3 or something, but he's definitely been in many games before.
Okay.
So it's like
he's got reason to get revenge.
He's got reason to be revenge because he is in games.
I think Meta Knight's ship is really awesome. I wish I had a ship that big.
Trivia: do you know what it's called?
Oh.
It was in the video already. You should have noticed it.
I do know this as well. Go on, what's it called?
It's called the Halberd.
Oh, I knew that.
So that's one to me. I don't know how we're going to play this game. So guess what's going to happen now, Ben? You guessed it.
You actually said you didn't die in this video.
I lied. I wanted at least a minute where you didn't think I was absolutely terrible at these games. No, but at least you get to see the bird again. The bird that instantly drowns. It's underneath here if you go along. Look. It's just...
I love its
expression.
Horrified look as it realises it's entirely like that creature has been spawned into existence in a place it knows it has no chance of surviving in.
Like
it's like you being born in a volcano.
But I'll make up for it by bringing one back into existence. I think it'll die soon. I'm not sure. But
if you've got anything to do with it, it will.
Yeah, I do not treat my companions very well. But there we are. Easy as pie. Second time round. I seem to have a habit of uppercutting sea creatures with the fighter ability in this series.
I was really worried you'd gone off on a tangent then and just stopped talking about the game. I've got a real habit of just uppercutting sea creatures. I saw a jellyfish on the beach the other day.
No.
Knocked it 4 foot in the sky.
Now, one thing I do like about this is that there is definitely a feeling that there's a continuous story happening.
Yeah.
Like in the other ones,
it's just there's not even.
Like in Spring Breeze, you get to fight Dedede at the end, and that seems to be like part of like a narrative.
Yeah.
Like everything else just seems completely just tacked on. Like in the background, in most of these screens, you can see the halberd like flying away.
Yeah. So sorry, in that section you just went through, is the water sculpted? So like those little other areas, they're just not water.
They're just air. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Physically impossible.
Physically impossible, but we've all played Super Mario Galaxy 2, and you know that.
Well, we haven't all played number 2, Jack.
Oh,
Some
okay.
of us.
I make it sound like everyone should have played it.
It's like, oh, well, it's a game everyone's played.
But we all know that Kirby hasn't exactly got a penchant for the physically plausible.
No, that's true.
If this was a real game, Kirby would have had like a very high level of cholesterol and died many times. Now, this is one part of the game where I thought, I'm clearly going to die here. When I get crushed, when I get destroyed.
I'll be honest, for most of that I thought you were going to die. There's cheap there.
That is a cheap way to die actually. If that cheap stops you from getting to the door and you get crushed, it's a very common way to die.
But
I didn't
ironic,
do it.
given that it's cheap. Ha ha
I
ha!
kind of, yeah, anyway, now this might seem like a boss recycle, but it kind of isn't. This definitely is. This is word for word, just wispy.
And word for word the same strategy as well, Jack.
Yeah,
Bombing the shit out of
bomb
it.
after bomb. But you'll see that after you beat the boss, there's more. You have this double woods, twin woods, I think they're called.
That's really confusing when you think about that, because that means there's a forest, and then below it there's another forest. I mean, that means above this, Wispy Woods is literally... Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's... I mean...
Don't think about it for too long. And
I already have, Jack. My mind's warped. I just made 3 trees cry.
I'm a terrible person. I mean, this is basically Kirby's not very much of a environmentally friendly guy. But I get shot.
Alright, shoot him.
So, this is the final level in the sense that everything else will be on the halberd from now on.
Okay.
But
So Herbie?
Herbie?
Herbie the car helps Kirby get back onto the ship. No, Kirby finally manages to get back on the ship then.
Yeah, he does.
And stay on.
And stay on. And all the levels from there on is him systematically ripping the ship apart with his powers.
So is the plot of this one just Kirby sees Meta Knight's ship and goes, I best go smash that up?
Well, I don't know why he there's obviously like a sort of a prequel to this which I've not seen, but basically Kirby knows that Meta Knight's about to attack Dreamland or something and wants to stop him, but they kind of lose him for a while, but then he gets back on the ship and thwarts their attack plans.
Yeah.
But as to why Kirby knows that they're attacking and why Meta Knight hasn't been mentioned up until this point in Kirby's Fun Pack, no idea. But as I said before, I think this and Milky Way Wishes are the only 2 games in this entire collection which feel like they have a real story that's present throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
But this one probably the most so.
No good. No good.
Not good. So yeah, I'm always disappointed that I can't get anything from these guys riding the apples. I feel like I should get some sort of apple riding ability, which I would really like.
Or you could like throw apples like they're called
Trees.
Popo Junior.
Yeah, Poppy Juniors, but just apples instead of bombs.
Yeah.
I would like that. Anyway, this is me using a mic ability on a boss, and it takes all 3 of my mic abilities to get rid of them.
That makes me happy though, because I do keep every time you get something that you claim is powerful. I always ask, can you use it on bosses? So I'm glad you finally did that.
Yeah, I wanted to try it out for myself, and
And
there
then you
you go.
immediately got rid of the hammer. So.
Yeah. And I could have used it there to get a nice little Maxim tomato, but I'm on full health,
Didn't
and
need it, and there's loads of food around.
I'm doing well. I haven't died.
You seem to be wasting a bit of time there, but I'll let it fly.
Yeah. Well, it's a game. It's not a job. It's a game. So I'll get this. No. Yep. There we are. And the thing is, I have trouble getting this bomb for some reason. It's directly above me, and I should really just headbutt it from below or something. Like that. There you go. And on we go.
So what's a good score for Meta Knight's Revenge?
A good score? I don't know. I don't really pay attention, to be honest. Like, the score in this game is like the score of many other games, and that it's just a completely defunct feature of the game.
Okay.
What's your opinion on the scores?
I agree, they're pretty much defunct by this point. But then you get certain like modes, like for instance we had the is it called the Gourmet Race?
Yeah.
We had Gourmet Race, which obviously is
The scores, the game basically,
Yeah.
but the score means nothing here, it's just getting to the level, end of the level on time.
Yeah.
So, my rule of thumb is if it's harder to get, it's the one you want to go for, so I'm going to use the one where you actually need the fire ability to get in. So,
I mean, again, this is a good example of, they might lack sort of narrative things and whatnot, but they do actually... That was weird.
Anyway.
They do demonstrate level design. Now we have Dino Blade.
it's Dinner Blade, yeah.
The Dinner Blade.
But, you know, we helped out a children in a previous game, so she's going to help us get back into the halberd.
Okay, well, we'll...
Isn't that a nice callback?
That's lovely. So I guess we'll see what happens and kicks off in...
And she's been shot down, bless her. But yes, we will see how Kirby gets on in the halberd in the next part of the LP.
See you then.
See you then.